Which one do they see? These?
Yeah, they see this.
Okay.
Live from the Mainstream Cannabis Media Empire, I'm Travis Lippert, CEO of Veedverks Unlimited Limited, better known as Veedverks.
Michael Miller, International Director of PanaceaLife.com, CBD manufacturer here in Louisville, Colorado. What a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. It's going to get snowy.
Yeah, it started sprinkling a little bit coming here this morning, and you can just feel it in the air. I'm actually excited about the little snow we'll hopefully receive this afternoon and tomorrow morning. Yeah.
I'm ready for the deer to start having to take bites out of pumpkins and realizing that they hate pumpkin.
Do they do that? Or
yeah,
no?
Once it snows, the deer start to get a little bit desperate. You can see like the newbie deers,
right?
The old ones don't bother.
Yeah, I bet where you live, you do see some wildlife, don't you? Yeah, like what, deer, and ever see mountain lions or anything?
I haven't seen them, but they're in our neighborhood. Seen a bobcat, a couple bears.
Really?
Saw an elk one time, but mostly it's deer.
Yeah.
Deer and coyotes and rabbits.
And rabbits. There are a lot of rabbits here,
since my wife doesn't watch this show, I was thinking about getting her a bat house.
What? For bats?
For bats, yeah.
Why not? Well, you go with your
the guano, and I think our neighbors might hate us. I don't know if it's a gift or just another chore that but I think it'd be sweet to have bats around.
Yeah, they used to be around when we were kids. Yeah. But down the street by the canal.
Well, today we have Kerri Accardi from 420 Media with us.
Yeah, I've been excited about this. I've known Kerri, probably 3 or 4 years now. She's the president, and she runs one of the top cannabis advertising companies in the country. Let's bring her on.
Let us do it. Boom. How about that? Yay.
Hey, Kerri.
Hello, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on our show.
So you guys just ran I don't want to cut to the juicy stuff yet. Okay. So what's your name / company?
My name is Kerri Accardi, and company is 420 Media. 420 Media is an advertising agency in the cannabis space. So we work with brands on their digital strategy, content creation, and distribution.
Oh, nice. You know what? I don't know why I had a caller, knew you were going to be on, and they were asking, what's your sign? Is that a zodiac sign, or is that what?
That was a little sarcasm for you guys there. You're reading through.
What's your sign?
Yeah, what's
happy
your sign?
Face. This is a weird happy face. It's kind of...
Well, it looks like it got dropped out of a skyscraper. Yeah. And it was the round happy one. And
You didn't smoke before he fell.
Oh, he did.
So, 420 Media is, tell us a little bit more detail about what type of things that you can do with 420 Media.
So we work with cannabis brands. We're really about taking a cannabis brand and bringing them to their audience. So based on different budgets, as you know. So we have still working with mom and pop shops to, huge corporations and public companies. So, if we're working with a public company, they might be into an integrated campaign and also taking some TV time, commercials, digital, banner ads, pre and post roll. Whereas, mom and pop might be more worried about creating content for social media, for local news, for magazines and podcasts. So, really we work with the client on their strategy, because without a strategy, we don't know where we're going. So really to understand what their objectives and their goals are in their brand. You can have the best product in the world, but if people don't know about it, you really have nothing. And so we really want to help bring cannabis brands to the mainstream and break through those barriers of the four walls of cannabis conferences and events like that. And so really it's about, defining those objectives and goals. And then based upon that, we create content. So a commercial, 30-second commercial for television is going to be much different production-wise than a template, let's say, asset for digital media or an article or written content. And so really based on those objectives, we create the content to support that campaign. And then again, we go right into distribution. So if it's going to TV, we send it to TV. If it's going to digital, that's where it's placed. So it's really, and then within that, we have digital marketing to geo-fence and geo-target people. So really taking it to the mainstream of what most advertising agencies are doing in this day and age, and bringing it to the cannabis space, because we need it.
Yeah. How'd you get into this? And why did you open 420 Media?
So I got into this. I left New York December 10th, 2013 on a mission to educate the world about cannabis after my Aunt Kathy passed away. And so it started as a sole mission, turned into viable businesses. And it's still important. I'm going on 5 years, and there's still messages that people don't understand. There's still education that people don't understand. We're still battling a plant being legal federally. And so as you guys know, people are dealing with banking issues. We're dealing with stigma still. We're dealing with, understanding what products are good and not good, because we don't have testing per se. And, as you know, CBD is like Reefer Madness Part 2 right now. And so really helping people discover those great brands and what makes them great, and who those people are behind them and the product is super important.
We have a little 30-second, is it 30 or 60-second commercial that you've done with Positive Nelson. I would love to play right now.
Yeah. And can we do a little setup for this? Because this is kind of groundbreaking. This spot ran on national television.
Yeah, tell us about that.
This was for the California market. It aired during prime time on Bravo, History, and Discovery channels. It's the start of an educational campaign that will air across the country. And it is the first, to my knowledge, educational cannabis commercial to reach the mainstream on these channels. So the Senator Positive and I had filmed a few years ago when we were doing it, filming his legislation. And he had really great content. So when we spent time together over the Seattle Hemp Fest, it made sense to use him as our first commercial. And so we ran it through the approvals and all the businessy stuff, and we got it. It was pretty cool, guys. It was really, really cool, to be honest with you.
Let's take a look at it.
Well, before we do that, I'm wondering why you and I don't have a 60-second commercial on 420 Media.
We ought to.
We need to talk to the owner of that. All right? We'll do that another time. Here we go. He's such a good guy.
The rationale behind medicinal cannabis is real. The science is real. The economics behind it is real. The health behind it is real.
I don't hear anything.
The opportunities behind it are very real.
We
have young people
do.
thinking differently now about cannabis, and being more responsible what cannabis is, and respecting cannabis for the value that she really gives.
Hey, Curved Papers.
So I'm asking you, why not?
I met that guy, the Curved Papers guy, at the first Marijuana Business Association meeting that I went to here.
Have you ever used them?
Oh, yeah.
I have. The curved
They're
papers.
too small.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they need to make big curves. Uh-oh. I think we locked up.
That's a good picture, though, right there. We need to put that on our Facebook page.
We'll get through these technical
She just saw the
issues
ghost here. What's his name?
Dieter.
Dieter.
You guys, I tell you what, I haven't stayed up this many hours in a long. Welcome back.
Sorry.
Did you hear any of that or no?
I don't know. It kicked me off.
Well, we were talking. You'll see it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the new Ghost episode out.
Yeah.
Today. I think. That's my goodness. That's so much work. Anyway, welcome back. Sorry about the technical issue. So how'd you get into the industry?
So I got into it because my aunt passed away, and I knew someone that owned a collective in Northern California. So I started there and learned to grow. went to political council meetings, sat with lawyers, lobbyists, patients, etc. And in January of 14, New York quasi-legalized through executive order. And I called a former colleague and said I was going to start, at that time, was meant to be a video production company to showcase the plant for the miracle she is. And essentially, basically, I left. I went to my dad's in Arizona, built my business plan. I ended up in Oregon on Super Bowl of 14, found someone to film their dispensary who's still a friend and client to this day. And that was it. We started, built out all of our social media, our website, and ended up actually at an MJBA event in Seattle, Washington in March of 14. 2 weeks, that weekend.
That's when I met, sorry for interrupting, but that's the exact time frame when I met the Curved Papers guy.
Oh, yeah?
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, Michael's awesome. So I started there. We filmed the first Seattle Weed Tour back in 14. We've been filming Seattle Hemp Fest for the past 4 years. Vivian McPeak is going to do a voiceover for a Seattle Hemp Fest series we're going to be airing next year. It's a mission, you know. I mean, people can live better, healthier lives with this plant. We have an opioid epidemic. We have kids on Adderall at 5 years old. I mean, there's just the craziest things I've ever seen, when in fact this plant should have never been taken from us. And so, you know, the best way for me to put it is, in my life, my Aunt Kathy gave me everything, and in her death, she gave me purpose.
Nice.
So when you got into the industry, so like when advice for other people looking to get in, what I tell people is to go get involved with your nonprofits first. Go find the nonprofits and go find the people who are fighting for patients. And I think that the good businesses tend to flock around the good nonprofits, and that's always my advice. So, and you said that you went to that, like the MJBA in March of 14. I went to one in Denver around March of 14. They used to have them down on like 14th
Yeah, I remember
Street.
that.
Yeah.
And
it's a great organization. Really is.
Yeah.
I got a couple cool posters of theirs in my house. It was funny. Can I get off on a quick tangent?
Sure, you can.
One time,
you're the promoter, producer.
Had a folding pocket knife on my nightstand, and a couple years ago, one of my kids' friends, like, number one, rummaged through my nightstand, and number two, and the reason I knew it is because he couldn't figure out how to unlock the pocket knife or to collapse it back. And so we had the big serious, like, don't be messing with my stuff, you know, conversation, but it was in my home office, and behind me is these like three, got the Cannabis Cup 2014 poster, and then two MJBA posters behind me, and the kid's sitting there looking at me, and he looks up and he just starts grinning.
Yeah.
Stop messing with my knife. Shut up, you stoner.
I love that.
That's funny.
Back to some, I guess, a little bit more serious. What can cannabis and hemp businesses do to connect with mainstream audience more effectively? And by the way, she took part of her name. Main Street? Mainstream.
Mainstream.
Yeah. What do we do about things like that? Should we copyright it?
Did you? Sorry, can I get on another? Sure.
Go ahead. We're like
Speaking
the View,
of copyright,
but two guys.
Yeah. I just read that MedMen is trying to trademark the word cannabis on T-shirts.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, MedMen.
Yeah.
Don't.
No,
I'm going to patent the word
They
V.
did something else, I believe. I can't remember what it is. It's very similar last year.
Yeah.
Where it was blocking our colleagues, really, you know, and other people. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is. I don't think you can do that, actually. I don't know if that's patent.
I read it on the internet.
I guess we'll find out.
You told me before the show began that if it's on the internet, it's true.
Oh, that's true. God, dog it. Well, we got to think of some words that we need a copyright on.
That's why we
mainstream.
That's why we ended up with Veedverks. Is
yeah,
nobody thought of that first.
You have no problem with that.
Domain name was available.
Yeah, it sure was, wasn't it?
I'd rather teach everybody a new word than
or at least
fight
our
out
new
there
words.
in the noise.
Yeah, let's try to get into what's the dictionaries that come out every once in a while with the new words. We'll make up some words.
New word, Oxford.
Yeah, somewhere.
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, back to the show.
So,
what I like about the show. It's your own show, really.
You know what? I said on the first show, we're not out to be the best. We're just out to educate and have some fun.
We're out to talk to the best.
Yeah, talk to the best.
That's
yeah,
right.
We facilitate. We facilitate the
we're
best.
We're not the best. We talk to the best.
Yeah,
that's a tagline. We should patent that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
For the mom and pop, because I think that our operation here is definitely on that mom and pop scale. Like, how small is mom and pop? Like, how small of clients do you typically work with? What kind of budget? Just for the other hemp, what kind of marketing budget are you?
Yeah, so for minimums, really, like on our lowest, I would say we do 3 months, and we can do a $5,000 monthly, which it's kind of like a taste test. Really includes a piece of everything. So you get a little press, like PR press, maybe a press release or whatnot, some written content, some social media, and some digital assets. And so what that does is it helps us to develop a foundation, because most of these businesses don't even have really anything but a few pictures they're taking on their cell phone. And so usually we set up a program where we plan over the 30 days, again, our strategy, what we're doing, what's going to be created, and with objectives, whether that's to gain more followers, whether that's to create more sales on an online system or in a walk-in, whatever it is, we measure that.
I was messing with the green.
Yeah, you had me over there.
I was gonna say, I was gonna do this. I was gonna be like, let's say there's a couple of guys who.
While he's doing that, tell me, how's media accepting 420 Media? How's mainstream media accepting your company?
Awesome. I have some big news that's going to be coming out soon with a new partnership in our second company. Mainstream, these are relationships I've had for a long time, and they're really embracing, and they've worked with us for a long time to try to get this out. This is my third television deal over the past 3 years. So unfortunately, the other two were bait and switch. So especially right after the election, I was working with CBS and another station called Cron 4 that ended up shelving our project after Trump went into office, actually.
Wow. So,
this is a real serious situation we're in, and people really are trying to block this information. So, shows like your podcast, these are really important ways to get people's information out. And so when you ask about a mom and pop, that's what I would say. Then, go on podcasts that are more local. Go on a local radio show or start to engage in that local news and digital space. There's a lot of people that want to learn about the plant too. So holding smaller events and teaching people, whether it's about CBD or.
She froze.
Hello. We needed that shot and the other shot. The before and after of seeing Dietrich.
I keep getting kicked off. Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. It's probably the first time that it's ever happened to us, but I think it has something to do with Dietrich.
Yeah, Dieter.
Dieter. Actually. So.
I don't know.
All right, let's blame somebody else.
Well, no, they've invoked spirits. Yeah, good and maybe not so good here, because every once in a while I get kicked in my shin, and I know it's not you.
Yeah.
I wonder who. I think he's toying with us.
No.
Anyways.
Halloween's my favorite.
Maybe you're going to regret being on our show.
No, we're getting good.
Actually, I think this is going to be one of our highest rated ones.
I'm getting some free consulting advice out of it, too, while we're at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you should take it, because I see a lot of consultants going out there charging a lot of money for introductions, for, I've heard to a point of someone was giving a percentage of their company for an introduction.
Wow.
to people I know very well because of my network personally, and it was very disheartening to hear, because I know that the other person didn't know that a part of their company was being exchanged for these things.
Wow.
I'm all about consultants and people introducing, but be careful.
Yeah. That gives us a good idea, though. We should charge 10% of the our guests, 10% of their company to be on live.
10% of their company, or we?
Yeah. 5%. Let's not be greedy. There's enough greed in this industry, isn't there?
There's a lot of greed. Well, there's a lot of egos.
Yeah. Well, we have no ego, do we?
I don't think so. I don't have poor self-esteem usually, but I don't.
Our afternoon show, we're dead serious. It's our morning show.
We have an afternoon show.
We're going to, right? We haven't developed that one yet, but yeah, we'll be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever be too serious. But anyways,
so have you? Oh.
For someone
did we lose her audio?
Hello? Can you hear?
Oh, gotcha.
There we go.
Sorry. What was I going to ask? Oh, have you run crosswise with Facebook at all?
I've been pretty lucky. I got kicked off one time through a client. I was working on their page, which was a dispensary owned page. But that was the only issue I ever had. But I haven't used Facebook that much in trying to pay for it or anything. If we're using it, it's more in an organic space.
Well, Facebook just came out last week, and they're going to stop kicking off cannabis pages because of what happened in Canada.
Well, maybe they'll let me boost a post someday. What's that, Kerri?
And they want money.
Yeah, that too. Facebook want money now. What happens to a business if they, especially in our industry, if they choose not to advertise?
We're not going to know about them, really. I mean, unless you have a top level, and even if you're not advertising publicly using digital or whatnot, you have to have some sort of word of mouth or somebody sharing your information. It's just how else will you get your product out? And there's so much competition right now in the space because people don't know the difference of a good CBD, a bad CBD, a full plant, a hemp plant, a cannabis plant, let alone the tinctures and the patches and stuff. So I think putting faces on to the companies and to the brands, as well as really putting them out in the spotlight or not so shiny spotlight if their product's not good.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
But I think it's really important that anyone going on a budget and anyone building their business needs to take it serious, needs to take their marketing serious. This is something I've been doing for years in the industry, and people laughed at me back in 2014 because, back then it was just starting, and asking someone to give you money to promote them was the complete opposite of the past 20 years of people hiding their cannabis use in business.
Right. Sure.
And so there was that whole mental transition where now you can do whatever you want, but as you just mentioned, people know who MedMen is, right? People know who certain brands are because they're putting their money behind the marketing. And whether that's having marketing people at events, whether that's coming onto podcasts or a PR person working behind the scenes, there is something going on. Earned media is still paid media, period. And so to understand these things and really to incorporate them into the business plan, I see a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm a nonprofit or I don't have money. And my answer is, for nonprofits, good, you're supposed to spend all that money then. So that's just a wash of any nonprofit that doesn't have money. And any business coming in that doesn't take their marketing branding serious, they're going to find themselves building their own Facebook pages, trying to do tweets, trying to make content, and realize that that's just a whole other job.
Yep. and it is a very time-consuming job.
Yes, it is. So what's your advice for new businesses coming in and they just don't have that capital yet? What sort of advertising would you recommend? Social media? Just stick with that, or what?
Yeah, I think the first thing is be clear on your brand and who you are, so you stay streamlined. You know, a lot of brands that come out, they have pictures of people smoking, then they have their friends, then they have some cell phone shots of the product, but there's no real streamline in branding. You know, their colors aren't the same, the music's not the same, their logo's not on everything. And so really thinking, if you don't have a budget now, you will have a budget if you do this right. So creating a foundation is really important. You know, you can't add a bedroom or a roof to a house if you don't have the foundation to build that. And so always thinking from the ground of what are we building? What are those colors? How do people feel when they see our brand? How do we want them to feel? You know, and so instead of just thinking about, you know, ourselves or our product and about us, is what do we want our audience to feel? What do we want those patients to feel, or whomever's receiving that product? If it's a service, what are you offering those people that's going to make them pick up the phone and call you? And so I think thinking in that capacity is only going to start the foundation, and you will have money in a few months to spend on the marketing and to work with professionals that will guide that process.
Fantastic.
I'm waiting for the money in a few months.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
We're calculating money.
Yeah.
Guys.
Say what?
That's the quietest I've ever seen you.
I was calculating how long it took from the time that we said, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to start this company to when we got product on shelves. And a few months is, if you're fast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It definitely takes some doing, especially, I mean, just the packaging, like you're talking about the branding, just to get your packaging designed and to, you know, do something that's, you know, really solid. Just the production turnaround time is months and months tick by. Meanwhile, your money's locked up. You buy all these raw materials and get them all together, and it just sits there and doesn't make you money until you can put it all together and get it out in the stores.
And we're kind of, I think, one of the more difficult segments of the industry, and that's CBD. And we lost you again. Well, you know, it's CBD, and you know, it's more and more states are throwing little roadblocks at us, you know, whether banning CBD or wanting additional information. You know, like in Indiana, you know, it has to have a QR code with all of the data on the product. And Kerri, this is the really good portrait picture of you right now. I don't know if you can hear me, but you can be rest assured that it's a good looking picture of you frozen right now. Better than the other two. But while we're waiting right now, I just want to, if you go to Veedverks and look at today's show, you'll see Team Jenny Gold. Please support her on her GoFundMe page. She's got one of the worst
Lyme disease.
You know, it's one of the worst cases is what I was getting at, you know, that I've seen. You know, I've known a number of people to have it, and she really needs help. So please go to her GoFundMe page. She's a huge advocate for our industry, and let's help her get the necessary medical care that she needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Team Jenny Gold.
Team Jenny Gold.
Wonder if MedMen's put that on a T-shirt with the trademark by it yet.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Get out of here.
I know. Are we live? Yeah. I would say some things, but I'm not now. I would never say that. So, hey, Kerri, how are you?
Our connection is
poor.
I wish it would give more information about why is it poor.
Well, you know what we should do? Pretend that she is here, and let's ask her. You ask her a question, I'll pretend I'm her, and I'll answer it for her.
What is your marketing advice for new? Well, you already asked that.
No, ask me that.
What is your marketing advice for new businesses?
Actually, get involved as much as you can into the industry, like what you said with nonprofits, but also go to any and all meetings at first. All the local cannabis meetups.
When's your next meetup?
January.
January?
Yeah. I'm doing it at a different place, though.
Are you?
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Unfortunately, we lost our guest. That's part of the beauty of live TV or live radio, internet.
I'm not giving up.
No.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hey. Okay. No.
Maybe we can do right click on something, find a setting.
Yeah. I think actually this is one of our best shows ever.
Oh, hello.
Uh-oh.
Yo. Turn that down a bit. Where is that coming from? Let's see. What happened? It made the Skype crashed sound, but it didn't. I'm going to try her back.
Okay.
To
say goodbye?
Call her up to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Let's write a country song about it. I'm calling her back.
I
called you back just to say goodbye.
No. Well, you know what? It's definitely not on our end. We've never crashed.
Oh, I know. It's the go.
What's that? Uh-oh. We've got a song for you.
I
Uh-oh.
called you to say goodbye.
Wait. She's crashed again. There she is.
The ghost.
You crashed into my life.
Hey,
we got something.
Before we sing our... No,
We
go
don't
ahead.
have a song.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, we
I
do.
was just kidding.
Nuh-uh.
I don't have a country song right top of my
Oh,
head.
we had a country song for you.
But it's, yeah.
Yeah, next time.
It's called Kerri, I called you back to say goodbye.
Yeah. That sounds like a good one.
I just called
you back to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's go out for The Voice or American Idol. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
It's sleep
next
deprivation.
Time when I'm in Denver, I'll have to come into the studio and meet the ghost myself.
You know what? We love live and dead guest on our show. Yeah. So we'd love to have you here.
Live guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to wear headphones.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, when you're in town, definitely, give us a heads up. We'll have you on the show in the studio and, really have some fun like we like to do and pass on some good information to unfrozen people. There you go.
She's back.
You're back.
I'm hanging here, guys.
So, take us out.
Well, thank you, Kerri, for coming. Wait. How do people get a hold of you before that? Any last minute advice to our viewers, which there's a lot.
Yeah, my advice is take your business marketing and advertising serious. 100%. If you want to reach that audience, make sure you know who the audience is that you're trying to reach and put them first and how you're going to reach them. What do you want them to feel? So I think that's the most cost effective thing that businesses can do to start.
Nice.
And then our website is 420media.us. Our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook is 420_media. And phone number is 425-420-0585. And I'm here to help whoever wants to help. We have a lot of really, really great, unprecedented opportunities.
I love that.
How did you get a 420 number?
I have 3.
Wow. My number spells THC.
Oh, that's cool.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's 842 is the 303-842.
Okay.
Yeah. There were 2 phone numbers available. One of them was a 719. One was a 303-842. And I'm like, yeah,
that's it.
That's awesome. It's like looking on the phone. What could that spell?
The little things in life, right?
Yeah. You got to have some fun.
Yeah, because it's the little things in life that get you down too. So you got to, you got to celebrate the nice little things.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, Well, speaking of, thanks for having me on your show. I'm really impressed with what you are both doing. And while this is fun, it's really helpful to people, I'm sure, to watch your guests and learn about this industry. So kudos to both of you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think the words were too kind, but we'll take them. Right?
It's all right. I'm used.
Hey, Kerri. Hey, thank you so much. We'll see you at MJ BizCon, and you're going to be filming there.
Yeah, we have 2 series we're going to be filming. I have a new partner I'm bringing in. So we have a women-based series as well as an entrepreneur trailblazers series.
Great.
So we're still finalizing some details, and I'll put a couple of press kits out and stuff to involve people. It's really, really cool and highest level of production team that exists. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Hey, whenever you need a shout out for anything upcoming, just give us drop us a line and we'll shout it out for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
You got it.
Same to you. Have an awesome day.
You too. Take care, sweetie. Bye-bye now.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, don't cuss and take your pants off yet. We're still live. We're just off the phone with her.
Okay. So, that was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
You know,
technically, except I think the glitch was on there. And
I think it froze at the right times. Number one, it extended the show. No, but you gotta use that one with Dietrich somehow, or Dieter. Put that in as, you know, that look. I love that.
Yeah. But everybody, either today or tomorrow. No later than tomorrow, because it won't make any sense to put out the last episode of our Halloween special. But
looking forward to that.
Man, a lot of work went into that. I'll tell you what.
That's the third segment,
I bet
right?
I put more hours into it than it will get shares. I bet. I bet that collectively we definitely did.
Well, I'm going to share it. So,
all right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they've been entertaining. You know, I saw a little snippet of the next episode, and you know what? If you're scared of spirits and stuff like that, even watching scary movies, I would definitely recommend having another adult with you to watch the third segment, because it did scare me.
Yeah.
You know, it did make me definitely want to run out of here.
Yeah.
You know, when I saw what is potentially, not potentially, what is here now.
Yeah.
You know,
like, spoiler alert, this place is haunted now.
Yeah. Well, I've watched those shows all my life, and I've always been told when you open that doorway, shit gonna come through. No, which it did happen. But you got a good one, I think. I think he's a nice ghost.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
We'll find out.
You don't see any.
I can't understand a word he says.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You guys will find out.
Yes, you will.
All right.
So, Team Jenny Gold.
Oh yeah,
please
Team
go
Jenny
there. Her GoFundMe page. Please help her. She needs a lot of love and support going through a tough time in her life.
Love you, Jenny.
Love you, Jenny. Yep. Great show.
Oh, wait, let's do that. Let's do that better. Like that. Boom.
Take care, you guys. See you next Tuesday. Bye bye.